I was given a lot. I mean, I grew up in Israel, and I grew up, my father was a tailor who, the day after his bar mitzvah, so when he was 13, the next day, his brother decided that he was going to be the next one in line, the oldest brother, to go work. It's not like he showed skills to be a tailor. He was a regular little boy. But they decided, okay, you're going to be a tailor. So he was sent away for 3 years to live with the tailor's family. He only came home twice a year, from age 13 to 16. And of course he came back, and he was an incredible tailor who survived the Nazi camps, labor camps, by sewing the uniforms. And you know how precise those uniforms were. All right, now we're in Israel. My mother is a dressmaker who not only could sew, could make her own patterns, but she could knit, she could crochet, and she could embroider. So literally, while I was sleeping as a baby, my father had wanted a boy. So he was busy sewing boys' pants, boys' shirts, little toggle coats, right with the little hood. She was busy making the little pleated skirts, pleated jumpers, little white blouses, little dresses, right? They were both very busy, right? And I would literally wake up in the morning, and there'd be a pile of clothes for me to play with. Sometimes it was a little boy, and sometimes it was a little girl, and I was equally comfortable always with both, and I loved doing it. I loved entertaining. Like, the relatives would come, sit down, and I would give a show. So fast forward, today, I cannot wear what other people wear. I just cannot, right? It just, because I've always had clothes specially made for me. You know, like I couldn't go anyway. So I love vintage for that reason. Also because, I mean, with vintage, somehow you get more for your bucks. And it lasts longer, and it's great. So we're going to start with white. I want you to know my mother made this. This was the last thing she made. I was working in a store called Victoria Falls, and this was a Victorian blouse. And I brought it home. I didn't tell the boss. And Saturday night after we closed the store, I brought it home. My mother copied, measured it, blah, blah, blah. And Monday morning I brought it back. The boss never knew. So don't tell. I'm going to show you how, when it comes to dressing, you have to think about proportion, silhouette, color, texture. All of that goes into effect, goes into consideration, okay? So, what I do with this is, and I love little Sophie's dress because she's the equivalent in white, right? So this is one way of doing it, right? And then to make it better, so now I'm showing you how I take an outfit up a notch and another notch. So this is a great jacket, right? And it works, it's wide, it works. This is great. I actually bought this jacket this way. A vendor, a woman who loved vintage, who sells vintage, added these things on it, and then she came across heavy times, hard times, so even though she bought it for $200, she was now selling it for $100. And she had already added these. So she said, you know what, it's okay, just give me the $100. So that hat, where is that little, yes. So this hat is perfect for it because it kind of does the same, right, it's kind of the same, right, it's the same color and it's the same shape, right, we see it? So all I've done now is I'm just showing you how I make the outfit better. right? Of course, we need good shoes, always good shoes. Shoes, you can't splurge on shoes. I mean, you can't scrimp on shoes. Now, if you're my mother, if you're Ziva here, you find these Alaya and Prada and everything for $5. I don't know how. I somehow have to buy them at Barney's and Bergdorf's, but she buys it at her thrift store for $5, and it's the perfect fit, and they've never been worn, and they're, I mean, how many pairs of shoes do you have? All of them, and they're fabulous. Ferragamo, never worn, Red Lizard, she manages to find. All right. So that's all I've done, is just made it better. So, I'm just showing you how we make it better. So I just pay attention to every detail. Just every detail, everything has to be as good as everything else. Like this bag is killer, the earrings are killer, the hat is killer, the bracelets are killer, this is killer. It all has to, and the other thing is that it has to tell the same story. It has to be harmonious. Right, that's very important in how to elevate an outfit into art. All right, I'm showing it to you one way. I do not wear these two together, because I'll show you how it can look better. But this is, okay, so it's white and it's white, but this is cotton and this is kind of silky. So by me, that doesn't work. You'll see how it looks better, but it's better, and it also kind of looks a little clownish now, right? Which I like, because these buttons are kind of clownish, right? And because this is now, it's much better, right? This is heavy cotton, and this is cotton. So you see the difference, right? It got better. Agree? Yes. But amazing, and I love the shape of it.
I didn't know you were wearing that early clothes.
Yes, oh, yeah. The earlier the better. No, the earlier the better. Edwardian is one of my favorite, Victorian, 1860s, I love. What's interesting is I worked for this guy, I think just Saturdays and Sundays, or maybe just Saturdays, and he had a vintage shop, and somebody came in, and saw this, right? And I knew I loved it. And she said, oh, how much? And my heart sunk. I mean, my heart was like, oh, I'm sorry, that's taken. That's and when he came in, I said, I have to fess up. You had a customer, but I said, no, I have to buy it. So, I worked for a year. But I said no to the customer. Because when it's great, it's great. And when it's in front of your eyes, you got to do something. But they're great, right? And the hat is just, anything stripes, ladies, you buy it. Stripes, you buy. Stripes are just... Look at this. Oh, wonderful. Don't I have the prettiest assistant?
You do.
Yeah, right?
Everybody needs an assistant.
Everyone needs an assistant. great about dressing well, or dressing artistically. People just, they smile at me, and I know they're loving me. So I smile back and I love them. So it's a whole loop of love. So how bad could that be? All because of dressing. And because of dressing, I can't tell you how many doors it opens up for me. People want to know who I am. People invite me for dinners. I never get rejected from any bathroom. Wherever I go, even though it says bathrooms are for patrons only, I'll walk in, excuse me, can I use the ladies' room? But of course, madam. So dressing well has a lot of perks. Yes, you notice. At 65, you may